All right, we're gonna have a crack.
Yeah.
Things really started to get hectic right after that. Simon, being Simon, decided he was going to go the hardcore route.
Scary and educational.
Front and rear diff locks on.
We don't take the chicken track, we'll always try the hardest track there. Things are looking pretty dire.
It was nice until Simon just started fanging it. I was panicking a lot.
G'day, my name's Tim from Ultimate 9. I've got Oliver and Billy with me. We're heading out to Kinglake West in our trusty Nissan Patrol that we nicknamed Doug.
I'm getting way licked. Today I was lucky enough to have a co-driver, a friend along with me.
This absolute bluebird of a day. Couldn't think of anywhere else I'd rather be right now.
Keen to test my skill set, especially driving a vehicle I've never driven before. Done quite a bit of four-wheel driving in my time, touring around Australia, high country, down where I'm from as well in the Macedon Ranges. Keen as beans.
I've met up with my niece, Christine. I thought I'd actually take her out with somebody who really goes hardcore four-wheel driving.
I have not really ever been four-wheel driving before, so I came along as a passenger.
G'day, I'm James from 4x4 Obsession. I bring along Brett and the old GQ Patrol. Highly modified, running the 5.7 litre LS V8 engine on 37-inch tyres, twin diff locked. It's got all the good gear in it.
Patrol. It's a 2012 ZD30 with a common rail diesel motor and some of the best tyres in the business, the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss. Awesome tyre, unstoppable.
With the weather that we've had the past week in Melbourne, I'm not quite sure what we're going to get to today. When I got to the first interesting bit, we were going to go downhill, and honestly all I was paying attention to at that moment was the view. There was quite a few whoop-de-doos on the way to Boggy Creek Track.
Not a lot of trouble, just keeping it in the right gear and just sort of letting the car do the work on the way down over the washouts. One of the tricky parts about four-wheel driving through this area is you never know what to expect. We came across a rather large tree that had recently fallen and we had to get around it.
The Iveco was so close to scraping. I will say for the Iveco, going around narrow sections is interesting. You want to know that your driver knows the size of their vehicle and is competent, because I couldn't have done that.
Wasn't a problem at all.
Pete and I were sitting behind Simon and he got around with ease, so we just followed in his footsteps.
It was really quite tight to get the vehicles around.
We had a discussion whether we should try and winch over it. I decided that probably winching over it wasn't the smart decision.
Some obstacles that challenge us a little bit.
A lot of the tracks around here are boggy something, so there's Boggy Creek and Boggy Track and Little Boggy Track, obviously because there's lots of areas to get bogged in.
James, you've recently helped out quite a bit with batteries for the Iveco.
That Remco 200 amp hour lithium they put in the back there, swap that one out.
G'day, I'm James from 4x4 Obsession. We're a full mechanical workshop specialising in four-wheel drives only. Been working on Simon's vehicles for many years now. He brings us all sorts of challenges, always broken stuff.
And what are the benefits we're going to see with a lithium setup like that?
Longer discharge, fast charging, connect to most smartphones, read all temperatures and all sorts of stuff these days.
If it's a four-wheel drive and you want it done, we can do it.
Things really started to get hectic right after that. Just after the bog hole, there was 2 tracks. One was the easier one and one was a bit more hardcore. Simon, being Simon, decided he was going to go the hardcore route. I wasn't really looking at how heavy the divot in the ground was, and then all of a sudden we just went.
I was happy for us to show Christine a bit of serious four-wheel driving, but not quite this serious.
He's at 45 degrees.
He's leaning on his side steps.
I'm looking out my right side mirror, just dirt. Brain stopped working when it happened. I just went, oh no, this is the end.
This is just nuts.
I've been up here at Clock Hill with Simon, I've been on a few other places, and that was the first time I've gone, oh, this is probably not good.
Started coming out of it, he gave it a little bit of gusto.
Yeah!
Yeah, I wasn't worried at all.
Oh yeah! You're a lunatic.
Basically, it was an easy, medium, hard section. We went to the medium.
Might need to give it a little bit of berries here, Pete.
With the way the track go, there's a very high possibility of sliding sideways into it and doing some panel damage, which is not a good idea. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go?
Oh, that's right.
Don't think the Darche Prado had enough clearance, so we took the chicken track. Well, just in time, my boss finally put tyres on.
Gave the boys the option of which way they wanted to go, chicken track or tough track. And we decided on
the tough track. Go through that, go through that.
I probably underestimated a little bit, went into it a little bit soft.
That's where I got stuck. Back it up.
Hold the thrower controller up just to get a little bit of more wheel spin. We punched it and were able to drive out of that pretty easily in the end.
We don't take the chicken track, we'll always try the hardest track there.
We just heard the rumble of the V8 through the forest. They pointed it straight at the cameraman and went for it. Waited to the very last second to get out of the way.
Run, Kevin, run!
Everyone seemed to make it through unscathed, much to your disappointment. I think you were hoping there would be some winching action.
The last bog hole of that track was pretty moderate, but the trees were quite tight as we were coming out.
You had to punch it just at the right second to make sure that you push through.
Everything's going on. The beeping and the flashing and the beeping and the flashing.
We was on our way up when we get a radio message from one of the cars in front of us.
So it's a little tricky. All right, hold it there, Max. I'm going to come up.
Something you don't think about is when the shows are being made, there's always a camera car, and the camera car's got to get through.
We were sitting there listening, and I'm thinking, oh God, I hope that's not another broken CV.
Good luck.
Simon pulls up.
Camera car action again.
As far as proving his skills, solid effort there. He smashed it.
Crisis averted.
We got to the bottom of the hill. It was the first time we'd really been able to see it because it was a really, really tight track.
With a hill climb like that, the main key is to keep your momentum but keep it steady, so don't come on and off the accelerator.
The problem. Sunday afternoon drive. In this road, on the road.
If you have one, big help is to use your diff lock. If not, chuck it in 4 low and just be steady with it.
Bring it on, Tim. Make it look as ugly as you can.
It felt really weird.
But you were confident because you had a skilled driver at the wheel. Wasn't that right? Yeah.
No.
That's rough.
I'd rather Pete.
Yeah. Rather Pete. Wow. Okay. Need to edit that out.
Hey Pete, you're in an IFS vehicle. Upper control arms have come a long way recently.
Unbelievable, Simon. This is an on-car adjustable upper control arm. We run a rubber bush in here so that you get less noise, vibration and harshness. You have a double locking system on that side and then back it up with a second lock. They run a steel insert into the alloy arm. The ball joint runs 80 degrees of articulation. It allows for greater lifts and suspension travel. Everything about these things is fantastic. Fabulous innovation that's been done by Roadsafe.
Well, that hill climb was awesome, but you can see on the NewTracs that there's nothing else on this track. It's basically a blue track. I reckon we turn around and go back down it. What do you reckon?
That sounds like a great plan to me.
Like a roller coaster. Oh, I'm taking it back.
It actually looks steeper going down than it did coming up.
It's even better going down it. That's a different kettle of fish going down versus going up your hill climbs. Make sure you stay in the ruts, keep it steady, don't go too hard on your brakes, just take it nice and easy.
It was super cool to see the hill that we had just driven up and just how steep it was. Sometimes you don't get quite that appreciation when you're going up. It always looks a lot steeper going down. You got a second low.
Fourth gear, fourth gear.
On the way back down, we went back through the bog hole that we saw Simon almost lay the Iveco over.
Oh, Simon looks like he's got some issues going on up ahead.
Oh!
We picked a very strategic line, putting that rut right underneath the car. I was so scared that we were going to drop a wheel and I was like, I hope this works.
Half the cars had all made it through and we were waiting for the rest of them to come through, and then we sort of started to hear a bit of commotion from behind us.
Do a flip, do a front flip.
No, I'm not breaking anything. Whoa, side rail. Things are looking pretty dire. I don't think we got any wheels touching.
Well guys, this is why we fit winches to our vehicles. When you get yourself into a sticky situation, it's a simple recovery to get out and keep the action going.
I think the kids had a ball. They were looking out the side window going,
I could have driven it way better. Like, he was even in fourth gear. He's supposed to be in second.
Yeah, okay. Next time, you can do it.
Had it on some cool angles, pretty off-cambered. Challenged just a little bit, but made it look relatively easy.
After we're back on all fours again, it was on to the next section of the forest.
Back in that tyre section, guys, so plan out your turns. We've got a great collection of vehicles on this trip. They're all worth a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. Tim, how do we protect those from being stolen?
Funny you should say that, Simon. We've got a really simple and cost-effective measure for that. Live track GPS trackers. Really simple to install and really easy to monitor through a simple app on your phone. Another positive is you can share your tracker's details with someone else. So when you're going off-road, they know where you are and when to expect you home.
We made our way up through another hill climb over some more whoop-de-doos.
each time you hit those things, you're pointing your nose at the sky going, all I can see is sky, and then come back out again.
Hey, we're coming up to the top here. There's a bit of an open area where we can probably stop for lunch. We're going to need a bit of shade though.
I think I've got you covered, Simon.
We'll get my 180 out, get your 270 out, and we should be good.
Sounds great. It was a really beautiful spot to stop and eat lunch. Sky was clear and the weather really turned it on for us. But it was quite warm today. decided to get the brand new freestanding 270 awning out. Easy and quick to set up. Over 2 years of development and testing, rated to withstand 25 to 30 kilometres an hour whilst freestanding. And then Simon got his Darche 180 awning out as well, so we had double.
Typical of Simon, an easy day is never enough. So he whipped out his phone and started looking at NewTracs, trying to see if he could find something a little bit more difficult.
Now, there are only blue tracks on the way out. We want something a little bit harder. Oh, hang on, what's that? Eagleglen Track. Could be the perfect point for the finish of our day. Let's get into it.
All right, sounds like a plan.
It's going to be a nice and easy track. When we get to the good stuff, it's definitely going to be good.
The last track of the day, Simon was talking it up a bit, so we were starting to get a bit worried of what might be ahead.
Oh lordy everybody, we're coming around this corner and this is the action point, exactly where the NewTracs said it would be. Holy hell. How cool is this? We didn't make this content for nothing. Make sure you follow our page.
We got out of the car and it was rough.
It's been raining a bit out this way. Thankfully today it's been nice and sunny, but it has made the tracks a little bit slippery.
All right, we're gonna have a crack.
Yeah.
Just basically only held in the seat by the seat belt.
Come on.
It was just really impressive watching the Iveco bouncing through those things. And I know Christine's had an absolute ball. She's got a big smile on her face.
Yeah, come on. Woo.
Next up was Pete from Roadsafe. As he was getting ready to go, Simon was getting the winch ready. I don't think Simon had a lot of faith in the D-Max for making it up, but Pete gave it a red hot go.
It was a decent track. And there was a chicken track we could have taken, but we gave it a crack with the D-Max. And I was very, very proud of what we did. We got through right to the end. Technical issue that stopped us getting through.
Pete tried a few different options, back, forward, working the wheel, just trying to find some grip somewhere. He just couldn't find it.
They got hung up, Simon pulled out the carbon winch and got him out.
He had to get winched out, but he actually got pretty far.
After the first section, there was another quite steep bit with more divot and a lot of holes in it. Really, really easy to get stuck in.
I'll jump in with you for this next section, Pete.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for. We're going to get into it a bit. That's it, mate, get into it. Oh. I think we found a D-Max-sized hole.
It was a bit intimidating for me with the Prado, considering I haven't driven this vehicle before today, but I decided I was going to have it a red hot crack and go for the biggest one.
Just magnificent drive, terrific job. Was very proud of what she did too.
It actually surprised me just how far she got, and she did a really good job, really confident line. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get it to the top, but Simon is again ready with the winch.
After that, I didn't have the momentum to go up the main rut, so Simon spotted me.
What do you reckon we should do here?
We gotta do it right.
Did you think we were going to make it?
No.
Really? Oh, I was pretty confident. Right as we were just about to drive it, the car sort of pivoted a little bit, and now we're going off to the side of the track. That was pretty fun. The little rutted section, to be honest, didn't look like much, so I didn't put that much thought into it.
We'll last in line.
GQ with a LS1 in it, it sings.
Brett used every single horsepower he had available to him.
But gave her a bunch of berries at the end and almost hit the cameraman. Lucky's quick.
The last obstacle on that track was a good challenge, but nothing we couldn't handle.
Mud flying, car bouncing.
Like spraying me this way.
Everyone got up to the top. It was nice until Simon just started fanging it. Scary. I was panicking a lot.
Yeah!
After that was the last obstacle for the day, so we decided we'll say our goodbyes
Kinglake did not disappoint again. We only did 2 tracks and it took us a good portion of the day just to get through.
I learnt a lot and I just had the best time, and I'm exhausted. But in a good way. Any day's going to be good if the people you're around are fun and the activity you're doing is enjoyable.
Owning an off-road truck is like peeing yourself. Everyone sees it, but only you get the warm feeling it brings.
And the best part of this plan is, no one can stop me.
I have a gun in my room. You give me 5 seconds, I'll get it. I'll come back down here, boom!
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Yo! You about done? Tick-tock, motherfucker!